You might know a thing or two about American history, the Revolution, the Civil War, maybe even a president or two. But today, we're going off the beaten path, digging into the weird, the surprising, the almost unbelievable stories they don't always teach in textbooks. We're talking about emu warfare, near-state status, and presidential campaigns that challenge the very definition of candidate. So buckle up, because we're about to uncover some fascinating and little-known facts about the history of the United States of America. Let's get started. Okay, when you think of formidable American enemies, you probably picture, I don't know, British redcoats, maybe German U-boats, right? But emus, those giant, flightless birds from Australia, believe it or not, in the 1930s, the U.S. government seriously considered bringing them over. See, farmers in the American West were having a massive problem with crop-destroying pests, and someone got the bright idea that emus, with their healthy appetite for insects, could be the solution. The plan was to import a whole bunch of emus, let them loose on the Great Plains, and let nature run its course. Thankfully, cooler heads prevailed. Probably someone pointed out the logistical nightmare of emu wrangling. The Great Emu War never quite took flight, but it remains a hilarious footnote in the annals of American agricultural history. Imagine, though, if you had to tell your grandkids you fought in the Great Emu War. Ever heard of a state called Franklin? No, not Franklin, Tennessee. This Franklin was a whole different beast. Literally, they wanted a state animal. Back in the 1780s, after the Revolutionary War, things were a little chaotic. The newly formed United States was figuring out its identity, and people in what is now eastern Tennessee decided they wanted their own state. Thank you very much. They drafted a constitution, elected John Sevier as their governor, and even sent a representative to Philadelphia to plead their case to Congress. But the powers that be weren't so keen on adding another state to the mix. Franklin existed in a weird limbo for 4 years, caught between independence and absorption. Eventually the dream fizzled out, and the territory was reintegrated into North Carolina. But for a brief, shining moment, Franklin almost made it onto the map as the 14th state. Chapter 3, Victoria Woodhull, Trailblazer in a Bustle. Now, let's talk about breaking barriers. We all know the first woman to run for president in the U.S. was, well, pretty recent. But did you know a woman ran for the highest office over a century earlier? Meet Victoria Woodhull, a woman so ahead of her time it's almost unbelievable. In 1872, when women couldn't even vote, Woodhull threw her bonnet into the ring as the Equal Rights Party candidate. She campaigned on a platform of women's suffrage, labor reform, and even gasp free love. Now, Woodhull was a controversial figure, even among suffragists. She was a Wall Street tycoon, a women's rights advocate, and a believer in spiritualism. Talk about a resume. Her campaign was met with ridicule and even imprisonment on trumped-up obscenity charges. Though she didn't win, shocker, right? Woodhull paved the way for generations of women who dared to challenge the political status quo. Chapter 4, the U.S. Camel Corps. Wait, really? Alright, this next one might sound like something straight out of a tall tale, but I promise you, it's 100% true. In the mid-1800s, the U.S. Army decided to conduct an experiment. Their mission, to determine if camels could be the answer to their transportation woes in the arid Southwest. You see, horses weren't exactly thriving in the desert, and someone had the brilliant idea to import camels, those ships of the sand. And so, the U.S. Camel Corps was born. The Army purchased dozens of camels from the Middle East and put them to work hauling supplies, carrying messages, and even transporting troops. The camels, surprisingly, adapted well to the American Southwest. They could carry heavy loads, travel long distances without water, and even spook the heck out of enemy horses. But alas, the experiment was short-lived. The Civil War broke out, and the camels were either sold off or abandoned to roam the desert. Still, the image of a camel-riding U.S. soldier is pretty darn cool, right? Chapter 5. Uncle Sam. More than just a pointy beard. We all know the image, the stern face, the top hat, the finger pointed right at you, compelling you to join the army or buy war bonds or something patriotic. But have you ever stopped to wonder who Uncle Sam was? Well, he wasn't just a figment of some illustrator's imagination. The inspiration for Uncle Sam was a real person, a meatpacker named Samuel Wilson. During the War of 1812, Wilson supplied barrels of beef to the U.S. Army. The barrels were stamped with the initials U.S. for United States, but soldiers jokingly referred to them as Uncle Sam's Provisions. The nickname caught on, and soon, Uncle Sam became a symbol for the U.S. government itself. Wilson, a hard-working, patriotic American, unknowingly became a national icon, and the rest, as they say, is history. Outrow, keep exploring the untold. So there you have it, folks. 5 fascinating and little-known facts about U.S. history. From near emu warfare to camel-riding soldiers, the past is full of surprises. Hopefully this has inspired you to dig a little deeper, to look beyond the textbook, and uncover the hidden stories that make history so fascinating. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning these little-known facts about American history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more intriguing content. We've got a whole lot more obscure history to uncover, so hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. See you next time.